Good morning and welcome to the FNB Cape Town 12 ONERUN official press conference. We are going to get started in just a few minutes. My name is Musibudi Whitehead. I'll be running things this morning. Running here, but not on Sunday, where all the elite athletes are here and ready for a great race. We're just waiting for one more to arrive, so we'll get going in a couple of minutes. Maybe an opportunity to grab a last cup of coffee, something to drink, go to the bathroom, because we'll be starting in just a few minutes and we are going to have so much fun. You must hear the music. It's so much fun. Boom! I'm saying it's so much fun. Boom! Music. Yeah. I think we're ready to go. Once again, good morning and welcome. A very warm welcome from the President Hotel in Bantry Bay for this big one. We look forward to it every year for the past 5 years. It's the FNB Cape Town 12 ONERUN, and we're looking forward to a magnificent day on Sunday. Apologies for starting slightly late. We are ready to go. Before we do go though, good morning, welcome, and for all of those with your phones out, remember that the hashtag is FNB Run Your City, especially the members of the media. Thanks for joining us, Sean and everyone else. Thank you for coming. FNB Run Your City, and the CapeTown12.com is the website. Before we start and before we get everyone introduced, let's get ourselves excited about what's to come and what's been happening over the last 5 years. Remember that we have all our elite athletes here, but it's not just about them. Starting out with 8,000 participants in 2015, we are now at capacity, almost double. 14,000 are expected to run the streets of Cape Town on Sunday. And let's see the fun we've had over the last 5 years. You've got to love the excitement, and we've got to get Morris to do that dance again when he comes up. Once again, my name is Musibudi Whitehead. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and for all of those who are watching us on Facebook Live, remember that the CapeTown12.com is where you can go for all the information about the live streaming. This race will be live streamed on Sunday morning. We've had Commonwealth Games gold medalists, we've had Olympic medalists, we've had world best set on this very course, and it would not be possible without a fantastic race put together on a beautiful course and with wonderful support from all our commercial partners. So to start things out, we'll call up Mr. Michael Mayer of Stillwater Sports to talk a little bit about the FNB Cape Town 12 ONERUN and how far we've come and what we can look forward to this Sunday.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic to be in Bantry Bay this morning. On behalf of the Stillwater team and Brackenfell Athletics Club, we want to welcome everybody and thank, of course, the press for the tremendous coverage that you give these fantastic athletes in the event over the next few days. I think we all woke up, I don't know who saw it this morning, but we all woke up to fantastic news this morning, that the first black woman from Africa reached the top of Everest yesterday, Sarai Khumalo. And I think that's something to celebrate. And it got me thinking about the Cape Town 12, and I often talk to our team about it and say, just look back at what we've achieved. We now have 40,000 runners across the FNB Run Your City series, across Durban, Cape Town and Johannesburg. That's amazing. That's a phenomenon in South African sport. We've had world records. Morris Kachaga, fantastic athlete. Welcome, Morris. Good to see you again. Ran the fastest 12 kilometer the world's ever seen. And there are events like the Baitu Breakers in San Francisco that's been going for 60 years, has over 100,000 competitors. Morris ran faster than any athlete's ever run at the Baitu Breakers. It's amazing. We've had fantastic achievements on the female side. We've had the fastest 10 kilometer in Africa in the Durban leg of the FNB Run Your City series. Very amazing. We had a European record. Somebody from Europe set the European record on the African continent in Durban for the 10 kilometer. A couple of years, last year, when Mo Farah's record was broken. So from a participation point of view, from an experiential point of view, and from an elite point of view, I think that the series is very, very exciting and has achieved a lot. But I just want to remind everybody what we focus on. It's not just around the athletics. The events are really focused on running into the cities and running around the inner city. So the inner city rejuvenation is really central to the event. And I think that's been probably one of the most exciting elements of this event. You know, the FNB Cape Town 12 ONERUN is a real Boston Marathon type finish, running into the city and finishing in the center of in the center of Cape Town. And then the other element is really contributing towards nation building. I think the event does an amazing job with that. I think road running really is like no other sport. It brings people together. Everybody's equal on the start line, and you could be standing next to Morris on the start line and running maybe an hour or two slower, but you're there with him on the start line. So that's fantastic. Just a comment on two of the innovations that we're really, really excited about this year. The first is we have a fantastic TV production team that is going to live stream the entire event live to South Africa and around the world. We believe that it's going to be an exceptional event to watch live. We're very excited that many people are going to be able to watch it because it's exciting road running. It doesn't take place over 5 hours or 7 hours. The winners take 33 minutes to run from Milnerton into the center of Cape Town. And it's really, really exciting, as you saw from that video. So we're very excited about that. And then secondly, our team has put, the Stillwater team has put a tremendous amount of work into integrating the anti-single-use plastic campaign into the event. I think it's important to say, at additional cost to the event. But we've tried to remove all the single-use plastic elements out of the event. And I think this is an ongoing process. We've spoken about it. I think it's a fantastic start, and we're really proud of that element. And then finally, the event has bronze label status, IAAF bronze label status this year. We really, I think, foresee a point where all three events are bronze label status, and we're able to bring some of the world, even more of the world's greatest athletes to South Africa to take part in the event. So thank you for attending this morning. We of course will have a few more opportunities in the next few days to thank our sponsors, but FNB, who was there from the start and conceptualized the event for us, Stefan and your team, thank you very much. Puma, DHL, KFM, these are our headlight partners that have been there from day one. And we're really, really excited still to have them. And of course to welcome all our partners to the event. So we look forward to an exciting race on Sunday. We're really happy that all our top athletes are competing. Tisha's just come from the London Marathon, a really fantastic 2:31, amazing. I watched it live. It was unbelievable. And we look forward to seeing you guys in action. So thank you very much, everybody, and see you on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks Michael Mayer, and a round of applause for achieving bronze label status in just a matter of 4 years. The more bronze label status, silver and gold we have in South Africa, the better for road running in the country and on the continent. Now, this would not be possible, of course, without wonderful commercial partners, and you can see them all there will be with us throughout these few days. But importantly, it is called the FNB Cape Town 12-1 run. So to come and give us a few words on behalf of FNB, he's in charge of the Cape. Please, Mr. Stefan Klaasen, a round of applause.
Thanks, Musibudi. It's great to be here. I must say, when you talk to these athletes, I'm always very inspired. You know, they all look in great shape always. So it inspires one to start running. And as we get closer to this event every year, you see the people running with the shirts of the previous years all along the streets, and it's really great to see that. So Michael mentioned a bit of the journey that this event has gone through, and for us as FNB, it's really a privilege to be involved with an event like this. So I want to tell you a bit about the journey, because it's gone through two dimensions. The first one was that in 2016, it was one of the finalists in the Discovery Sports Industry Awards. So that was a great compliment for us. Then Joburg and Durban said, but they were jealous, why can we have an event? They also won something. So the Joburg 10 and the Durban 10 started, and the Run Your City series was born. And then the bronze label status came. So these are all great achievements for the team that was involved. So well done to you guys. But there's a different level as well to this journey. And that's, in the first year, there was about 9,000 people, Michael, if I recall correctly. Then 12, 13, and now we had 14, 15,000. So more and more people are getting involved. But secondly, the first time when we stormed into the city, actually, we didn't really run, we stormed into the city. We got here and all the coffee shops were closed. All the restaurants were closed. It was a Sunday morning. Nobody thought it was going to be such a success. The second year, they were all open. The businesses got involved, and they realized what this does for a city, for the business of a city and the retail and the tourism industry. This year, there's another interesting step, and that's that we have 2,000 people, over 2,000 people that entered through their businesses. So lots of businesses getting involved, challenging each other, saying, I'm going to beat you, my team's going to beat your team. And that's really what we want to achieve, is for the business community of Cape Town to get involved and say, this is our event, we're going to make this happen. It helps, of course, to lengthen the tourism season. So for the city, it's a great event as well, and for South Africa, it's a great event to have this. And of course, FNB, it's important, this is an inclusive event. It's not just for an elite group or for the top athletes. It's great to have you guys here, but with respect, we want everybody from all parts of society to be involved. And I think this event really achieves that. And it's amazing when you look through the stats and you see the kind of people that's running and where they're all coming from. For the athletes, all the best for Sunday. My money is always on the South Africans. Okay, sir, Stephen, please. I'll be standing right behind you, trying to follow you for at least 10 meters and keep up with you. But yeah, we really hope it's going to be a great event, because the international recognition is also very important, not only for the event, but for Cape Town and for South Africa. So yeah, all the best for that. But we really celebrate those weekend warriors, those people running with the shirts from January to May to get fit for this. Those are the people that we really celebrate and want to see there. So we look forward to seeing all of them there. And then, yes, Michael mentioned it's going to be streamed on YouTube and Facebook. So we're looking forward to many more people seeing it. If you think about it, 15,000 people run, there's families involved with all of them, there's all the people along the streets, and now there's all the ones watching on YouTube and Facebook. It really does a lot for the city. For our partners, Michael, you mentioned them, it's like we're in the presence of greatness when I look at all the other brands on this banner. So for DHL, KFM, that does it on the morning, every morning I hear them on Drive Time Radio, other marketing event, Mitsubishi that came on board, Coca-Cola. Really, it's a privilege to be involved with all of you, and let's work together to really make this a great event. So we'll see you on the starting line on Sunday morning, and yeah, hopefully every one of you are there. Thank you very much for the privilege to be involved.
Thank you, Stefan. And you'll pick up there, he didn't give us a finish time. Man. He said he'll be running for 10 meters behind the top runners, but he didn't give us a finish time. So we'll be watching to see where he finishes on the live stream. Remember, and you can use the hashtag FNB Run Your City. So let's welcome our top athletes that are here to give us a few words about what we can look forward to this Sunday. We start out with the man who is the defending champion, looking to win it for a third time. You saw that wonderful jig that he did there, set a 12-kilometer world's best on this very course from Kenya, Morris Kachaga. He won this race back in 2016, coming just a few seconds from setting a 12-kilometer personal best. He's one of South Africa's finest athletes, with national titles from 1,500 meters all the way to the marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Stephen Tepe Mokoka. She's also won this race, and as Michael mentioned, a fabulous performance at the London Marathon, which she seems to love, having set 2 PBs there in 2017 and this year. And this year, more importantly, by running that 2:31, she has made Team GB for the World Championships. She says it's still sinking in. Tish Jones, a round of applause. One of our other ladies, she burst onto the scene, especially on the Spa Ladies, where she made a huge name for herself. She's done well on track, road, and especially cross-country, represented South Africa at the World Student Games. She's here, she's been 3rd before, looking to win it this time, Kisam Letsani. And a man who's looking to use the FNB 12 to make a name for himself. He's got some fabulous times, just over 60 minutes for the half marathon, and he's looking to unseat his countryman Morris by taking line honors this Sunday. Let's say a jumbo and warm welcome to Ronzas Kilimo. We'll start our conversations with the athletes, who will be available for some one-on-ones after the press conference, and they will also be available for some photo opportunities. Let's start with the man who's the defending champion, Morris. How's the form looking? We understand that you went to the Paris Marathon just to test it out and ran a 2:07 there, finishing in 4th place. Broke 60 minutes in the half marathon in Dubai at the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon, where you always see fast times. You're in great form. So does this mean the race is already won?
It is not. It is not. I can't mean it is not now over. I can win the race, but I'll try to defend my title.
And you're going to win it. You're looking to win it for a 3rd time. Huh?
Yes, I'm looking to win in that time.
He's looking to win it for a 3rd time, and I think he can do it. But let's ask a man who's won it before as well. Last year he finished 9th, and now he's focusing more on the marathon, or is he? But before we talk a little bit about that, Stephen, you spoke about the importance of this race and what it means for South African athletes to have an opportunity to run against guys like Morris. Just maybe give us an idea of the importance of this race, especially for upcoming guys who can't go to Europe to run a fast 10-kilometer race.
Firstly, let me greet you all. Secondly, I can say I'm honored actually to be here. It is the 5th year of this race. It started from, I don't know, when I was here first time, 2016.
16, yeah.
The banner was too small. But now the banner is it's adjusting. I mean, it's bigger than this room now.
So you see there are more sponsors now.
Yeah, a lot of sponsors are coming on board, which is good. We would like to urge a lot of them to come as well. And I can see there's a second race in South Africa that is a status race. It's like a bronze label, which is good. It shows that Still Waters is doing a good job. All the LOCs, they are doing a good job. But it's funny how everything is going to Cape Town.
But you like Cape Town races. You've won this race before, and if memory serves me correctly, you still haven't won a road race in Johannesburg. Am I right?
Let's not go there.
But you always win in Cape Town.
No, I always win in Cape Town, but I'm wondering, I'm asking why all the status races are in Cape Town. But anyway, it shows that people from Cape Town are doing a good job. I can see I'm excited for the weekend. I'm looking forward for it. I've been running this race for 3 years, and then every time when I say I want to improve, something wrong happens. But this year I think I'm excited and I'm looking forward. The mind is tuned up now. I ran a race like a month ago in Cape Town, where I finished third. And a lot of people are asking me, what happened? I'm like, no, I ran the second fastest time in that course. It's a tough course, which means I'm in shape.
You're talking about 2 Oceans Half?
Yeah, 2 Oceans Half, which means I'm in shape anyway. It's just that the guys wanted more. I mean, the guy who finished Elroy wanted it more than me, and then he shows that he was in shape for the day. So I was like, okay, I lost, but I was 1 second off the first time. So I can say I'm excited. I'm looking forward for this race on Sunday. I've run at 33 minutes. I've run at 34 minutes 2 times. I hope I run faster.
You hope you run faster. The man you'll be competing against, Morris. Any ideas of the time that you are looking for? Have you got a goal in your mind to say, this is the time I want to run? Morris, have you got an idea of the time? Are you thinking about time or just to win it?
First, I have to think about winning the race, then I have to worry about time.
Okay, and for both of you, I guess, Stephen, you also come from a marathon like Morris. He ran 207. You also ran 207. How are you feeling after that marathon? Are you fresh or still got the marathon in your legs?
I mean, my half marathon showed that the marathon is gone now. That's why I chose to come and run the shorter races so that I can get back the speed. You know, getting a platform of this nature in South Africa is very exciting. We saw the world best. I think I also have the South African record in this course. So getting an opportunity to race against Morris, you know, most of the time I can say people will laugh at me. I used to watch him on TV. I also watched him when he ran rack the other day, like last year and even this year. So I can say getting an opportunity to race against him at home, it's very exciting. And getting an opportunity, I mean, we witnessed Vivian Chirot in 2015 where she won here. I mean, she's an Olympic gold medalist. Getting here in South Africa, I mean, still let us give them a round of applause. These people are doing a good job for South Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we saw Joshua Cheptegei as well, the world cross-country champion. I mean, coming to South Africa, come on, guys. This is amazing. Those things we see overseas. But when we get them in South Africa, it's amazing. As a person, as an individual, as a professional athlete, getting that platform to compete against these guys in South Africa, it's amazing. And always when I race them, it's like, I wish I can beat them. I wish I can beat them. You know, the thing is, we mix with these guys. When we mix them, when they speak Swahili, all of them, it's hard. But when we meet them, when it's only 2 people who can speak, you can get into the mix. So I'm excited, and I always like racing with them, and I enjoy it, and I can see it's doing a good job for South African running.
Okay.
I mean, bronze label in South Africa, these guys in South Africa, I mean, we have to try to fight with them so that we can give them challenge so that when they leave their home, they don't say, no, I'm going to get the gold in South Africa.
I'm going to collect the money in South Africa.
He must say, I'm going to race in South Africa like they do when they go to Europe, they go to Asia, they go to America and all those things.
Yeah, well, maybe we take this opportunity to teach you some Swahili, Stephen. You probably know more than us, having run in the big packs in races around the world, in Europe and in Asia. We've got Ronzas here. When you say thank you, after beating them, when you say thank you, you must say asante sana. Am I correct, Ronzas? Is that how I say thank you in Swahili?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the race?
Yes.
How has your training gone? Let me help you.
I prepared well to run this race. Since I started this race, I started listening to people from Kenya. I was watching this race last year when Morris won this race with a faster time. Then the race is becoming well known in Europe, even in Kenya. I know on Sunday we will have strong competitors like Stephen and Morris here, and I know by myself I will do my best there. I have to improve my CV. I will run very fast Sunday. Yeah.
I love it. That's it. The challenge has been set. He's going to run very fast on Sunday. Lovely. And the great thing that you've said there, Ronz, is that this race is being now well known in Kenya, in Europe. People are talking about it. They're putting it on their calendars where they're planning. Tish, to you, talking about planning, it's been for years you have been planning to try and get into that Team GB and try and qualify for an Olympic Games or World Championships. How do you feel about that 231 in London and now finally making that team? And we'll see you at the World Championships running the marathon.
Sorry, is that on?
It is on.
It's quite surreal, and I really wasn't expecting such a good result. I don't know what I was expecting, but I had a bit of a rocky build-up, so I couldn't anticipate what was going to happen. So it's still sinking in. I haven't really had an opportunity for it to kind of process. So although it's my fastest ever marathon, I don't know how that will affect running shorter distances, but I know that running shorter distances is always going to be beneficial to my overall marathon time. So it's a very good opportunity, and it's a massive opportunity here to try and run fast. I just feel like maybe my marathon legs are still hanging around.
Yeah. Well, 2019 is looking a lot like 2017 for you. You set that 2:33 PB at the time in 2017, and then came to Cape Town, the FNB Cape Town 12, and won the race. It's looking like deja vu. Now you've set that one again, PB 2:31. So that was 39:40 that year. So now what? 38? Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. If it was just a matter of calculation, then we could all anticipate an accurate time. But like having just had the fastest 42 kilometers I've ever run, it could be a great time to run and race faster over shorter distances, but it could also mean more fatigue. So I'm really happy to have the opportunity to see how that affects my shorter distance running. And I do have a 10-kilometer race to race in the UK as well. But I've been off the race scene for the best part of a year before London, purely through injuries and trying to get through them. But it's made me stronger mentally as well. And I think the marathon shows that more than anything physical. That to get through it that in that time with the little training that I had, I was super proud of what I did. So 12 kilometers is short, but it's significantly faster per kilometer. So getting that leg turnover is going to be very different, but I'm excited to do it. It's exciting to do a shorter distance race again.
Yeah. One thing where you're different from everyone else here is that you run for Team GB, or you will soon, but you also call the mother city home. And we heard Stefan talking about how excited he is to see people running in a Cape Town 12 2015 jersey, and you will have seen some of that. Have you seen much of that on your training runs in Cape Town? And will it feel like running on home soil on Sunday?
It's strangely, and I'm not sure if anyone can kind of empathise, but I've been here for a number of years, and I am completely in love with the city. In South Africa in general, I feel more at home. I love the UK, and it's where I'm from, but I feel like I belong here a lot of the time, and I miss it terribly when I'm not here. So it does feel like I'm running in my second home here. So for Cape Town Marathon and also for 12 Run, it means so much more to me when I win a race like that, or when I do well time-wise. It still means a lot to me. The same as London meant a lot to me. So unless people have experience with that with two cities, but yeah, it does feel like I'm running on home ground.
And now we're all torn. We don't know who to support. As Mr. Claassen said there, that he'd be rooting for Kesa, and Stephen now is thinking, Tish is also at home. So who do we get behind? Kesa, you've been third at this race before. You've had a decent build-up. We saw you finishing in third place behind Casta and Dominic in the 5,000 meters at SA Champs. And you ran the Spa Ladies a week ago. How do you feel coming up to this race?
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate being here, and I'm really honoring the invitation, really. It's been a very busy year for me. As most of you guys would know, that I run all three disciplines: the track, the cross country, and the road running. So it's been very, very, very busy from my side. And I'm still, still tuning up at the moment, looking forward to new races and bringing up exactly what I need to bring onto the table on the day of the race. It doesn't really matter which discipline it is. I need to, chin up and, move on.
For the FNB Cape Town 12-1 run, that's a little bit at the outer limit of your distances, because we've seen you even running as short as 3,000 and 1,500. So the legs for those last 2 or 3 Ks to drag yourself to the finish line, how are you feeling, the endurance?
It might be a bit technical for, someone who doesn't really run that much. But for an athlete, a distance it's just, on paper. We do shorter stuff, like Tish has already mentioned that she's coming down to shorter distances from the marathon with Steven. But they still have all the capabilities to do anything in the track and on the road as well. So for me, it really doesn't feel any different. 12K is just a 2 kilometer out of my 10K, norms. So it's really not far-fetched from me.
3rd in PE, 3rd at SA Champs, 3rd here at the FNB Cape Town 12-1 run.
It's a holy
First in 2019.
It's a holy trinity, I must say. Well, on a serious note, I don't know. Like, I'm just hoping for the best. I'm hoping for a good run on Sunday. So I can't really place a position to my name at the moment. And, well, I'm really grateful that I've been coming 3rd and not 4th.
Exactly. Ask the person who finishes 4th at the Olympics. They would like to finish 4th or 3rd. Let's wrap this press conference up. Remember that you can use the hashtag FNB Run Your City, and that's where you'll follow us throughout this week as we build up to the race. And if you spot any of the athletes, if you're going on a little jog on the promenade, I saw them going out this morning, selfie nyana, and use the hashtag as we build up to what will be a great race. The defending champion, Morris, how are you feeling after the marathon? As we asked Stephen, after running in Paris, how are you feeling for this shorter distance?
As you know, marathon is fair and it was my first time for marathon, but I paced in marathon 30 kilometers in 2017, and in 2018 I paced it to Kipchoge in London in 26 kilometers. So this year I was planning to try my first marathon. I tried, but it was so hard for me because I have not yet. I had no good preparation for marathon because I was coming from RAC and I was prepared to come here to defend my title. So after marathon, I rested for 2 weeks. Then I coming back for training. So my body is now fresh, and I'm thinking to be in podium on Sunday.
Ah, beautiful. He's going to be on the podium. And as you mentioned there, you heard him saying he paced for Kipchoge. Well, in 2017, when part of the FNB series, we were speaking to Stephen Mukoka. And at the time, Kipchoge was attempting to break 2 hours in the breaking 2. One of the pacemakers was Stephen Mukoka, and he mentioned Morris, saying that he predicted if he can get good pacing, he can run 2:01. This was 5 weeks before he eventually ran his 2:01, 30 what. So both of these men having had some magic in the Kipchoge magic. So, and importantly, Stephen having predicted it. So Stephen, you've heard him here. He said that he's hoping to defend his title and end up on the podium. But for you, how does a race like this form part of bigger preparations for future goals, as we had spoken about throughout the series last year and years before? Do you, when you look at your year ahead and even plan towards the Olympics and long term, do you look and say, the FNB 12 is one that I must do to check my shape? How does this race form part of your overall planning?
I can say the entire series is very important for me because that's where you get good competition. As I keep emphasizing, getting competition at home is very important. I think last year, 3 weeks after a marathon, I went to run 10K in Durban. I was actually chasing a fast time in South African soil, first South African, but I think I ran like a 28:16. I mean, I wanted to run a 27 actually, because I could see it a year ago I'm capable of doing so. So, I mean, racing here as well, I think my time is like 5th, 6th fastest time ever in the world. So I want to lower that as a person, you know, being able to do it at home, not going far from South Africa and do it. Just do it in front of my fans, in front of my family, in front of my teammates, because I also have teammates who, when they look at me, when we train together, they can set their goals. And then getting an opportunity or a platform of this nature where Still Hotters have a series of this magnitude, it gives me a thing like, I don't have to go too far to run faster at times. I don't have to travel a long distance to run fast times, but I can just do it at home. I mean, I just arrived this morning, I woke up at home, and then I'm here. Then I'm going to run fast. So I can say getting an opportunity like that, because it's hard to get races overseas when you are a marathon runner. But here, I mean, they don't sideline me. They say, come Steven, come and run with us. Come and have fun with people that have been following your career. We've been following your career for a very long time. So I can say getting an opportunity of this nature, being able to run shorter races so that I can sharpen myself for marathon, it's a good platform, and I hope they keep on inviting me, even when I'm old.
Yeah, you can run at the back with the rest of us. Okay, lastly, about the route to our athletes here. Let me start with you, Morris. How much of an advantage is it to know the route, and give us some advice? Those of us who will be walking, running, singing and dancing at the back, what is the route like?
I think in 12 kilometers in Cape Town, the route is very well. It's very flat, and I know everyone who is in the frame. You know, the Cape Town is the fastest route in 12 kilometers in ONERUN. So I think everybody will be chasing to run the fastest time, because it is very flat to run the fastest time.
Ronzas, have you seen the route? It will be your first race on Sunday of the FNB Cape Town 12 1 run. Have you had time to check it? Has Morris told you about the route?
Since I don't know the route coming Sunday, I have to stay behind Morris and Mokaka here. I know them. They are strong guys, not easy. I will look and see what will happen during the race day. I know, of course, it will be faster, and if it will be faster, I will try to run. I'm in a good shape, and I will run faster coming Sunday. Also, I will see at the finals. At the finals, if it comes to that I will be with them in the final, I will try to follow the leading team.
Yeah, so there we have it. He's going to follow them,
Yeah.
and then pass them in the last 500 meters. Boom, gone. Tish, you know Cape Town well. How is the route for all of us who will be just there to have a good fun run on the day?
As far as I remember, there is a bit of up. It's
What?
not all flat.
Up where? They've just said it's flat. We're looking forward to okay, I'll attempt this one with no training.
Yeah. There's definitely a little bit of elevation. It's not completely flat. When you're running at that pace, you feel it, I can assure you. It is a beautiful route, and that's partly why I love. Well, anything's a beautiful route in Cape Town, actually. Regardless of whether there's a nice big mountain to look at, as long as you can see that, you're in the right place. But running through the centre of town, there's a few turns and things, and if you're running hard, then you need to be aware of that a bit, because it's harder to maintain turning and going slightly up, etc. And it will fatigue your legs quickly, but it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the 12 kilometres, the extra 2Ks that no one's really used to. But it's a very lovely route, and it does encompass a lot of the city, starting from the outside all the way in.
Kisa, one last one for you. I've always wanted to know, and we expect the city to be lined with support. We've heard businesses will be open, there might be some music playing, welcome to Cape Town. Do you hear when you're running people shouting your name and encouraging you? Are you in the zone? Do you hear people say, hey?
Okay, first and foremost, I must just go back to 2016. That's when, 17 actually, that's when I first started, 2016, I'm so sorry. I ran the first FNB race in Johannesburg, and it was my very first race, you know, running along a way where it's so much busy and with so much entertainment. I freaked out. So I think I learned from there, and I'm really happy that I had to, you know, learn some of the tricks of being an elite athlete and a road runner at the same time. And you
What
do
freaked you out,
hear,
if you ask? What freaked you out?
I was used to just running on the track and on the cross-country felt where, you know, the sound is so minimal. But, you know, on the road something, everything works totally different from the track and the cross-country. So we do hear a lot of people, a lot of support we do get along the way, but your main focus is doing the thing, it's just running. And we really appreciate all the support, and I think the question hits really home, like for me, because all these sponsors play a major role in supporting us on the road as well, where our routes are, you know, nicely marked, and, you know, we are nicely directed to where we're supposed to go. So I really appreciate all the support from everyone else, especially from our sponsors as well.
I think the main thing, and we'll end it with Stephen then, is to make sure you get sunglasses. On the road, you see the guys run with sunglasses, a lot of them, so they don't see what's happening. Like Stephen sometimes, I don't know if he still does, but he used to. Stephen, we'll end it with you. You spoke about the importance of this series and this race, especially for young athletes, and encouraging them. I remember some years ago, you went and gave a talk to some young athletes in Tembisa. There was one young man sitting there who is now on the cusp of the world stage, called Ryan Mpahlele. And no one knew him then, he was still a junior. Listen to what you spoke about, planning your races, about targeting races where there'll be top athletes like Morris and others to make sure you get good competition. On a race like this, whenever you run against top runners, do you feel the pressure that you are representing, you and Elroy, South Africa, and do you guys sit and plan before a race and say, we are going to run in a bunch like the Kenyans? Do you sit and plan that, and do you feel the pressure that you have to do something for South Africa?
Most important, I have to fight for my nation. I remember there was this guy, Kip Kimoy, he finished third in Boston. So we were racing in London sometime. So I don't know who was, like, you know, those guys that like tucking in. They don't want to lead. So he's like, no, let's run parallel. Like, we are on the pace, and he says, let's run parallel. I'm like, why? He says, no. This guy is a soldier from his country. You are a soldier from your country. I'm a soldier from my country. We'll meet in front. So I can say, when you race, it's always nice to put yourself first, and then to put the brand you are representing, and then as well as the nation. I mean, I'm running for my country. Remember now, it's South Africa, it's Great Britain. Oh, South Africa as well. I can't say Bloemfontein. South Africa as well. So I can say, I mean, the most important thing, you always hope that the things unfold the way you planned. Like now, Maurice says he wants to run fast. I also want to run fast. I want to run my PB. I remember when we ran at 33, 34, we went through 10Ks, 27:55 or 27:50, I think.
With Emmanuel Baird, eh?
Yes, with Emmanuel Baird. So I'm hoping with the same pace. I mean, if we can get the same pace, it will be nice, you know, running a significant good pace, like 2:48 average. We don't have to run 2:45 because that's a 27:30 pace. We might, it's suicidal. So when you go to races, it's always like, let the race unfold the way I want. And if it does that, it's going to be nice. The tough thing about this race and the nice thing about it is that it's very flat, but when you reach 10 kilometers, you climb. And you know what's funny after that? You get that 100 meters bolt speed. I mean, you just climbed. And then they say it's sprint. And then after that, you have to sprint again downhill. So it balances, but that's the exciting thing about it. I'm excited, looking forward for it, because last year I think that's why they dropped me. I mean, most of the guys that I was running with, they thought that's the finish line. Remember now when you run Frankfurt, you finish on the mud. So when those guys saw the mud, I don't know what happened. And I was like, okay, my race is over. So this year I'm prepared. If that thing comes on, I think I'm ready for it.
Yeah, excellent. We look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking forward to a wonderful race. And that's where we end today's press conferences. All of our athletes will be available for one-on-one interviews, but immediately afterwards, we'll just ask them to remain here for a photo. Once again, a round of applause starting here on my left. The man who's hoping to unseat the 2 previous winners. Good luck to Ronza Skidimo. Kisam Letsane hoping to change the holy trinity of 3rd places into a 1st place finish this Sunday. Good luck to Kisa. Tish Jones, fresh from a fabulous performance in London, hoping that 2019 will be like 2017, but only better. Good luck to her on Sunday. And Stephen Mokoka, hoping that he won't be dropped at the final hill this time around, and maybe he can set a new South African best over 12 kilometers. Good luck to Tippy. And the man with the most, hoping to win it for a 3rd time, and hoping possibly for another world best over this 12 kilometers for the FNB Cape Town 12-1 run. A round of applause for Morris Kachaga. And just one more time, as the athletes get ready to take photos and one-on-ones, let us see what we can expect on Sunday by watching that video once again. My name is Musibudi Whitehead. It's been a pleasure. Cool, thank you. So you guys can So cool.